So fall is a really great time for fragrances. Get to wear a lot of different varieties other than just the mostly citrus based or fresh fragrances that we normally wear during spring and summer. So I've got five out of my collection that I want to give to you as far as five more great inspired take fragrances that you can wear during this fall and during this winter. Stick around. I'll give them to you in just a moment. All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and you are watching Smell Goods. I do appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit as we talk through and discuss more fragrances as I document my fragrance journey, but also hopefully help you in your fragrance journey as well. If this is your first time, do me that favor. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications. And you want to do that. That way, every time I drop a new video, which is pretty often, you get notified, even when I go live and all of those fun things. But then after you've done that, go ahead and make sure that you meet us in the comments. And by us, I do mean the rest of the Smell Good squad, the rest of the folks that have been watching videos before, and they're back for another time. And so to those folks, I say, what's up? Good to see you all again. All right. Oh, and also before I forget, go ahead. There's some discount codes in the description. Make sure that you avail yourself of those. Definitely, I know if you're going to do shopping, which you probably are, it would definitely help and support the channel by using those links and save yourself some money there as well. All right. Now, let's talk about these fragrances that I have. I've got five of them that are, again, for the fall, for the winter time of year. Not of fragrances as far as spices and vanillas, of course, and all of that fun stuff. So not in any particular order. I'm just going to give them to you as I kind of pull them off and as I have them laid out right here on my table. So first one up is going to be from the house of Armaf. A little hard to see there, but this is black saffron. Now, what's interesting about this is that depending upon where you go for the notes, they still don't make sense, right? If you go to Armaf, they list it as lavender, ginger, patchouli, vanilla, musk, tonka beans, amber, sandalwood, and vetiver. I don't get that with this fragrance, right? Other places just list like spice notes and fruit notes and saffron and what have you, right? That leans a little more true for me, but either way, regardless of what you smell, because I do smell the saffron, I do smell spices, and those type of things. Either way, this is a great smelling scent. This is a nice, spicy, warm, ambery type fragrance that you can wear for the fall and winter. And if it's doing its take of black saffron, great. I don't think I've ever put nose fully on black saffron, but that's what it's called. So we're going to rock with it. We're just going to say this is another great fragrance for you to wear during the fall and winter, Armaf's Black Saffron. All right. Next one up is one that I've worn a lot last year and worn it a few times so far, just again, as we've gotten into this cooler weather. Just wore it the other day just because I wanted to break it out. But this is from the house of Lattafa. This is the Kingdom. And this is doing its take on JPG Lamel Elixir, if I remember correctly, but definitely a nice aromatic, ambery, spicy type fragrance, right? Not spicy, but sweet lavender type fragrance. This was definitely a compliment getter for me last year. Definitely does a pretty good job of getting in that space. Again, not a one-to-one, close, but not a one-to-one, but does a good job of getting that. And it does project off of skin, does project off of clothing. And something that you may want to check out, especially if you do like that Lamel Elixir. Again, this is the Kingdom by Lattafa. All right. Next one up is one that is doing its take on a Parfums de Marly, which is why if you look at this, and if I showed you the box, of course, you see that green color. That should remind you of something if you know Parfums de Marly. And the box I know had a horse on it. I don't think there's a horse on here anywhere, no. But this is called an equestrian series, Hayton. So this is their take on Haultain by Parfums de Marly, and does a decent job. In fact, I actually kind of like this a little more than I liked Haultain. Not saying that this is a one-to-one or this is greater, as it were. I just like this twist on it. This one has some pralines in it. It's got some cedar, lavender, saffron, of course, and some leather. And so this one does a really good job of getting in that space of Haultain. I think if I remember, Haultain has some oud, and I think that's the thing that for me in Haultain is like, oh, it's okay. this makes it better without having that oud note. But again, as far as another fragrance for your fall and winter from the House of French Avenue, this again is an equestrian series, Hayden. Hayden. All right. And then the next one up, I told you I have 5 for you. This is my 4th one. This is one that I'm actually rediscovering. It is one that I'd gotten early part of fall last year. And that was around my time my collection was just kind of going crazy. And so I spent a little time with it then, but then of course, a lot of other things came in that caught my attention. And then we moved through spring, moved through summer, and now I'm reacquainting myself with this one. And this one is called Veteran Oud, and this is by Pandora Scents, which is a division, if I remember correctly, of Paris Corner. Now, what this is a take on a fragrance that I don't know if it's available in the US anymore. I haven't seen it. I haven't really seen it on any discounters. Haven't really heard anything about it. Haven't seen it in stores, of course. But that would be Stronger With You Oud, which the way I know that this is definitely doing its take is because I do get that signature Stronger With You type of DNA out of this. And so, again, this is a nice one that does that Stronger With You, but has that oud note in it that does very well. So you have a little leather, amber, spicy, vanilla type fragrance that goes on with this. And like I said, I'm rediscovering it, but this is definitely one, if you see it, if you can find it, if you can check it out, you might want to put it on your radar and check it out, especially if you're looking for that Stronger With You oud alteration or clone or cover, what have you. That'll be a good one for you to check out and pick up. All right. And then the last one is one that also just kind of came into the collection recently, but it is one that definitely is something I would recommend that you may want to check out and take a look at. This is Vulcan Sable, and this is by French Avenue. This is their take on Stéphane Humbert Lucas Sandance. So you get this nice whiskey kind of orange up top with some vanilla. Does a really good job as far as a vanillic, woody, ambery type scent that works in the fall, works in the winter. Definitely one of the good ones from the House of French Avenue. And I say that, but French Avenue has put out a few bangers this year and the last year. So this one is the 5th one that I was going to give you. And again, this is Vulcan Sable from the House of French Avenue. All right. That's it. That's the 5 that I said I would give you. Gave them to you kind of quickly, hopefully. And that way you can go ahead and watch this next video that's here. Make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, requested notifications, meeting us in the comments. And then again, if you wanted to pick up any of the fragrances that I mentioned, there's some discount codes in there that might help you with your purchases as well. All right. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed. Peace.